We're here at the Cuckold's Cove Trail near the eagle's nest, where a distressing situation is unfolding. The eaglet, the baby eagle in the nest, has plastic wrapped around its legs right now. And joining me now to talk more about this situation is Karen Gosse with Rock Wildlife Rescue Group. So Karen, can you tell us what's happening with the eaglet right now? What are you seeing down there in the nest?
Right now, the eaglet in the nest has a sheet of plastic wrapped around one of its legs. It's a few feet wide and at least 5 or 6 feet long, and it's wrapped multiple times around the leg and hanging down out of the nest. So the parents can't get it off, the eaglet can't get it off. So right now, we're just wondering what to do.
Yeah. Is there anything that can be done to help the situation?
Not by us. We would love to help, but we are not permitted for intervention of birds of prey. So a call has gone in by myself and by other people to request some help for the eaglet, for some intervention. The issue is when the time comes that he's going to fledge, the time comes that he's going to try to learn to fly, and the foot itself. I mean, we've gone up into crow's nests where there's been twine and things wrapped around the feet of the young crows in the same situation, and it causes deformities if it gets tighter and tighter. So the question is, intervention should be earlier rather than later if we want to help this bird, because he won't be able to leave, he won't be able to migrate.
What would be the reasons not to intervene?
Some people think let nature take its course, but that really doesn't apply to this situation, because a sheet of plastic in an eagle's nest is not nature, and that's us. That's our garbage. So this is something that we caused and something that we owe it to them to try to fix. It's difficult to get to. That eagle's nest is high up in a tree. They build them in areas that aren't easily accessible for that reason. But you can get to it. It would take a lot of work, but I think that there's always a solution.
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit more about that? If you were to get permission to intervene and actually go up there, do you know how you would go about it?
I think it would be a multifaceted plan. You would have different groups involved. I think the fire department would have to be involved. We have our fall safety, but you would have to have people who know how to do this, like people who fell trees for a living would be really useful right now. Wildlife officials who have experience with birds of prey. There is access down by the coast. We just saw a boat come in about 50 feet from the nest. So there are ways to access that without coming down from the cliff.
How dangerous would it be? I'm sure the parents, the eagles, wouldn't be too happy to see people, fiddling with their eaglet. So how dangerous would it be in terms of the eagles even attacking someone who goes?
Well, this is why your average person doesn't do something like this. It requires training with birds of prey. It requires proper PPE. It requires equipment to cover the nest and yourself while you're up there. I mean, it's a quick job. You're not taking the eaglet. You're just snipping off this plastic and getting out of there as quickly as possible. But it's being done. I mean, eagles' nests are accessed all over the world, the same as osprey nests are and other things. So there are ways to go about it, but it does take a lot of planning and it takes a lot of teamwork. But I think, Newfoundland's capable of taking that on. I think we have those resources if we want to use them.
Yeah, and bird rescue is what you do. What did you think when you first heard about this situation?
Oh God, we just wanted to help because we've seen these situations, and the longer you wait, the worse the situation gets. And then you end up with an eagle who, even by the time you intervene, he can't fly, and then it's too late. So intervention earlier is always better. It's always better for him. It's not about us. It's a great feel-good story. People love the eagles here. Many photographers come here. That's how we found out about him. But it's about the eagle and him being able to leave and migrate with his family when they go.
Well, Karen Gosse, this is a really popular spot. Lots of people walking through here, lots of eyes on that nest. So I'm sure people will be watching and waiting to see how this gets resolved, if it gets resolved. So thank you so much for coming up here and talking to me about it.
Oh, well, thanks for covering this and making people aware.